Hi everyone, the Mature Simmer here. So midsummer, and we've got rain. We've got rain at least for the whole morning, so it's not looking promising to do all the work that we'd be able to do. As you can see out the side of the enclosure here, our oats are ready to harvest, but obviously we are not allowed to harvest in the rain. So I'm going to go ahead and do the other job that I need to do, which is spray for weeds on the cotton fields. Now I'm making an assumption that they've started to grow, but I could be proven wrong when I get up there. But at this point, I'm going to be optimistic and head out of the farm with my sprayer, top it off at the silo, and eventually move over my tanker to keep myself getting filled. So that's where we stand, and it would be lovely to get going on these oats, but the weather's not going to cooperate. And it looks like the drying for the remainder of the day is pretty poor as well. Once I make this turn, I'll pull up the weather chart so you can take a look at it yourself and see what I'm seeing. So there we go, and the drying potential is double negative, which is the worst it can be, even later with high temps and high wind. So I was a little disappointed to see that, but perhaps it's because of the amount of rain we're getting here, and I think it's been raining most of the night too, so it's been wet. I know I had talked with Sweet a little bit this morning. I had popped on for a second to adjust the server time, but then I was working on a few other things in real life and getting some other stuff out for the channel. Oh, it looks like he threw in 4 hay lofts, because that's where the bale bins were yesterday. So that's great. So yeah, he's been busy collecting up his fields. Oh, he's got a bale over here by the road. I'm not sure that he realizes it's there, so I will let him know, because I believe he's still on once I get here to start filling up. So one of the things is, yeah, I tend to try to keep moving when I'm doing work on FSN, because there's literally always so much to do that I kind of wait to do my conversations until later. So there's our new liquid fertilizer silo. So as you can see, we're pretty busy. The other problem we've got is I've got that truck stuck. When I put it out, I can't get past there without getting out into the field. So I'm waiting until I can harvest, which is, now that I think about it, going to be a challenge because I need that tanker now. But let me fill this. And we'll start with that work, and I'll cut back here in a bit and update you on what is happening. But let's make the assumption that I'm spraying fields up there. Actually, I'll cut back in when I get to the fields, just so you can see what I'm seeing and if we're ready, and I'll just briefly see if we can get going. So up here on 101, and the good news is it is growing, so we can spray. That we can do in the rain. So we'll get this down and get the weeds taken care of. and get these fields treated. So that work will definitely get done today. And I'll just show a little bit of that. And it may be a very brief episode today, again, like the other day with spraying the oats, because spraying is, I don't know, it's spraying. It's just strangely satisfying to see these weeds just turn gray, knowing that that means good things for my harvest later. So, looking forward to a good harvest cycle. This is the last work we've got on the field, on any of the fields, before we hit harvest. So now we just need to pray for the rain to stop.
You'll win somehow, so give up on the bottom, baby. It's hard, I know. Let the music take over, baby. I know your doubts, but it's wide open ocean, baby. Let sun pour down. We can dance in the light, oh baby. Heartbreaker, dream maker, let go of your problems and look at all your smiling friends. Jailbreaker, earthquaker. Don't you know you can settle for more? Don't you know you can settle for more? Don't you know you can settle for more? Don't you know you can settle for more?
So here stands our tanker. Connect everything up. Oh, that's right, tankers don't connect up. But yeah, I keep getting stuck around the building and I just cannot. I've tried a couple times. I just want to give it one more shot. I think I just ran over a bit, and that's kind of the point, is it's so hard not to damage crops. Oh, come on, at this point I've taken out a little bit of oats. I might as well get out of here. Alright, well, now I should be able to make it. This is insanity. Whoa. Come on. I don't even understand. Is it stuck on the bumper? The light? There we go. Alright, because at this point I don't need to go back there. Because I can stay out of there until after I'm done harvesting. But at this point I need to run back to my farm and change my logo. Because right now I can take liquid fertilizer and I need herbicide. So I need to go repurpose this truck, and then I'll be back to get some weed killer. So I'm here at the workshop, and basically I am now going to make it a herbicide tanker. Probably get 2 loads worth just to be safe, and we'll go from there. I think I have showed the fill limiter, but after this turn I'll just pop it up to make sure that I've shared that mod that is used in FSN here. And again, I think this is a regular Farming Simulator mod. This isn't anything unique to us that was created. But basically I can go in here and say I want to set that to 12,000, and then when I go ahead and fill, it will stop at that level, so I don't have to try to play with keys or pretend like I'm filling gas up at the pump, and I just keep squeezing the handle quickly to get it to stop at $10 or something. But I can set it exactly to the liter that I want it to finish at, and obviously if you have things in the tank already, you can't set the limiter smaller than what's already there. But in the case like this, when there's an empty tank, you can certainly do that. And I use that for various things. Sometimes I'll use it with my trailer and the pup trailer when I'm harvesting to not allow anything to go in the front trailer, and then I don't have to play that game of going by the pipe and hoping that it works. So there's a lot of uses for it. So there we go. We'll go ahead and fill this up. We'll get it to 12,000, and we'll head on over, fill ourselves up, and hopefully between those two loads we'll get everything done. But I've got a good portion of the 3 fields that are together completed. I might dare say I have 50% done, and field 8's certainly smaller than the rest, so I think I'll be okay. And we went long enough that you were able to see the limit, so there you go. It just warns you you've hit the limit and stops, and we're good to go. Alright, so I just finished up here at 102, 105, and 101. So I just have field 8 left to get sprayed. And then I will be checking in later today to just see if by chance the oats are able to be harvested. But right now, like I said, it's not looking great. Before I leave, I'll actually check the soil moisture, so we'll take a look at that. Is one of the last things that I pop in here for. So we'll connect with you in a moment. Alright, so I finished up here on all the fields. So I'm done at this point. I can't actually do anything on the server, so I'm going to go take a look at something else. So here you can see where I sit with my items that are in the resource exchange. So the poppies were left over from a previous year. I had about 11,000. So I just listed them again at one point to start selling them. But then the coffee is the 1.1 million that I placed out on the resource exchange for 30 days. So basically 2-3 days ago. And you can see that over half of the coffee has already sold. And that, once again, is a markup of a couple $100, really like $250 over the price I could get directly in game. It's not nearly as much of a markup as what I can get by direct sell, but still a decent markup of, I think, close to $100. So at this point, because I can transfer about 218, I'm at the point now that it would take me 2 weeks to get that money moved out that I have here in the meta funds. But definitely able to make money on the resource exchange, which is good. All right, and here I'm taking a look at just continuing to move my trucks along. And you can see I've definitely kind of been leveling up my drivers. So at this point, she's got 4 certifications. which gives a lot of options at times. In this case, there's nothing even available for any certifications. So it's just a matter of figuring out which job to take and taking it and getting the load moving. Alright, so I've gone ahead to check the crop moisture here. We're at 26%, which honestly isn't that terrible given how long it's been raining. So I will check back later today, even though it seems unlikely that it'll dry for whatever reason. The confusion we've had that we've talked about is you can see it's going to be in the 80s after it stops raining, and it's windy. Usually the temperature and the wind determine drying, and it doesn't seem like it's going to start to dry until tomorrow morning, like mid-morning, which is a long time to wait, because if I could get in the fields today, that would be great. And I understand that it might not happen till the evening, that it might need 6 hours to dry, but the drying potential to me means this is unlikely to move. And so my concern that I have is tomorrow may be a day that harvest can happen, which is fine, but the oats are going to be the only thing I have ready, and even if they weren't, I don't know that I'm going to have enough time, because harvesting 7 fields of oats is still going to take probably well over 10 hours. So that's going to be a pretty full day if I'm able to even do all that in one day. And then maybe we get one additional day, and I still don't know if the cotton's going to be ready here. And then this is my bigger concern, is these are my other days available. This one's super wet. We're already then probably, I think, into winter one here, which we know what the drying potential is like. When I lost the cotton crop last time, it just never got down to the 20% that I needed. So it just basically seems like if I don't get the harvest off in the next 2 days, which really is autumn 1, which is super early, I may not be able to because of the weather, which would be very disappointing. But we'll see how things play out. But that's what I have for now. I'll see you next time.